Cato presenter at Sky Sports, presenting NFL football, the best sport in the world.
Hello and welcome, Gridiron UK fans, to this week's podcast. I'm your host, Harry Waring, alongside head analyst David Richardson.
Firstly, let us apologise for the lack of the podcast last week. Technical difficulties prevent us from producing one, but we are back this week with all your regulars from around the NFL.
Yes, we'll have your NFL roundup of the results, a discussion on the current frontrunners in the NFL, and then a look at the British University American Football League, which kicked off in the last couple of weeks.
But first, as always, here is your NFL roundup.
Roddy White holding a 33-yard touchdown pass from Matt Ryan with 20 seconds remaining on Thursday night, and the Atlanta Falcons, after squandering a 13-point lead in the fourth quarter, rallied to beat the Baltimore Ravens 26-21. The Dolphins achieved their season-high point total against the Tennessee Titans, and it just took three quarterbacks, a flea flicker, and the revival of the Wildcat offense. Santonio Holmes got a 37-yard touchdown pass from Mark Sanchez with 16 seconds left in overtime, giving the New York Jets a 26-20 victory over the Cleveland Browns on Sunday evening. It was the Jets' 8th consecutive regular season road win.
Calvin Hayden returned an interception for a touchdown, and Javaris James ran for his third TD in 2 weeks as the Colts held on to beat the Cincinnati Bengals 23-17. Jay Cutler passed for 237 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Devin Hester had 2 big returns as the Bears beat the Minnesota Vikings 27-13 on Sunday to tie the Green Bay Packers for the NFC North lead. Fred Jackson scored 2 touchdowns in leading the Buffalo Bills to their first victory of the season, a 14-12 win that sent the Detroit Lions to an NFL record-setting 25th consecutive road loss.
Josh Freeman threw 2 touchdown passes, and rookie LeGarrette Blount ran for another score to lead the surprising Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 31-16 victory over the struggling Carolina Panthers. Mike Thomas caught a 50-yard touchdown pass from David Garrard that Houston Texans defensive back Glover Quinn batted into the receiver's hands on the final play in regulation, giving the Jacksonville Jaguars a 31-24 victory. Kyle Orton threw a career-high 4 touchdown passes, and Noshawn Morono had his first 100-yard rushing performance as the Denver Broncos routed the Kansas City Chiefs 49-29 on Sunday in their highest scoring game in 47 years. And John Kitna passed for 327 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Dallas Cowboys looked revitalised under interim coach Jason Garrett in a 33-20 victory that served as a reality check for the New York Giants.
Jordan Edney kicked a 29-yard field goal in overtime, and Troy Smith passed for 356 yards while leading the San Francisco 49ers late rally for a 23-20 victory over the St. Louis Rams. Matt Hasselbeck, back after a 1-game absence, threw for 333 yards, and Mike Williams had the biggest game of his rejuvenated NFL career in the Seattle Seahawks' dominant 36-18 victory over the Arizona Cardinals. Tom Brady maintained his mastery of the Steelers, throwing 3 touchdown passes all to tight end Rob Gronkowski and scoring one himself as the Patriots bounced back from an embarrassing loss to the Cleveland Browns by beating the Steelers 39-26 at Heinz Field.
And on Monday night, the Philly Eagles stomped all over the Washington Redskins, winning 59 points to 28 and wrapping up a high-scoring and eventful weekend in the NFL.
And that's it, week 10 is over and this year's NFL is hotting up very nicely with no clear team running away with it.
Me and Dave discussed who we think will win each division and eventually the Super Bowl. So let's start over in the AFC East, Dave. Who have you gone for here?
Well, obviously the New York Jets and the New England Patriots are 7-2 top of the standings, so it's pretty safe to say that whichever team doesn't win this division, the wild card will be going to that one.
I like the look of the Jets over here. I think Matt Sanchez is doing a great job. The secondary on the defence is looking good as well. So I'll take the Jets.
Yeah, I'll take the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick is once again going to prove the coach of the year.
Let's move down to the AFC North now. I've gone for the Ravens here purely on their defence. The linebackers Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, absolutely brilliant. And Joe Flacco looks like he's coming into his own on that offence.
No, I disagree. They haven't been as strong as they have been in recent years, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have proven that with Ben Roethlisberger back, they can beat you in many ways.
Right, move down to the AFC South, where we've both come to one solid conclusion, and that is the runners-up from last year, the Indianapolis Colts. Why are they doing so well, Dave?
Well, obviously there's only one man to say it, and that is Peyton Manning once again leading the Indianapolis Colts offense, even without Dallas Clark.
Where are we going now? The AFC West, another disagreement here. You've gone for the Oakland Raiders, and I've taken the Chargers. Phillip Rivers, he's going to come back. They always stutter at the start of the season, but why Oakland?
Well, they've got an absolute superstar running back, Darren McFadden, to use in the backfield there, and I think the defence has stepped it up this year, and it will be nice to see Oakland into the playoffs for once.
Again, another indecision here on the NFC East. You've gone for the Philly Eagles, led by Michael Vick. I was reading earlier, there's a lot of talk of him looking good for an MVP. What do you think of that?
Well, he's been playing absolutely inspired football since he's been given the starting role. And obviously now with Dallas Cowboys out of it, it's between the Philadelphia Eagles and Giants. And I think Michael Vick has just been playing outstanding, so he's going to lead them all the way.
I'm going to take the Giants on this one. Eli Manning and that young wide receiving core, it's a brilliant combination. NFC North, we've both got an agreement there with the Green Bay Packers. And we move to the NFC South, where there's a huge disagreement. You're taking the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm taking last year's winners, the New Orleans Saints. I think, though, whichever team doesn't make it out of them two will definitely get a wild card. What's going so well in Atlanta for them Falcons, Dave?
Well, they're absolutely almost unbeatable at home. Matt Ryan is 18-1 in his short NFL career at home, but he's already proven that he's going to be an elite quarterback. So I think, and with Roddy White on the outside, they're just going to go from strength to strength.
We moved finally to the NFC West. You've taken the St. Louis Rams, and I've taken the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seahawks just look more of a solid unit. Rookie quarterback at the Rams, Dave. Do you think he can go all the way with this team?
Sam Bradford's shown that in his first season he's capable of making plays, especially with Steven Jackson behind him. But this is the worst division in the NFL. Seahawks are on a 5-4 record and they're leading the division. It's a poor division all around. But I would just like to see the Rams get out of it solely because Steven Jackson deserves it.
Talk us through it then, Dave. Who's going to take the AFC, the NFC, and then eventually the Super Bowl?
Well, for me, the Super Bowl will be represented by the NFC for Atlanta Falcons, and the AFC will be the New York Jets. I think the Falcons are going to take it though in the end. Roddy White has been playing absolutely tremendous this season. Ryan's been finding him with a lot of effect. Michael Turner as well, he can run against any team. The Jets have a strong defence, but I think eventually they'll start to falter in the big game.
Completely different teams for me. I believe it'll come down to the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants. The Ravens defence, especially the likes of Suggs and Lewis, who I've already mentioned, could lead them all the way if they step the game up and play like they were last season. Eli Manning and his young receiving outfit, including the likes of Hakeem Nicks, could make a long run into the postseason. Manning will be eyeing up a Super Bowl ring number 2 and will be looking to use the talent in Nicks, along with an above-average rushing attack in Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs. So I'm going to say, put it out there, New York Giants for the Super Bowl for me.
Interesting.
We asked Kevin Cadle, who we interviewed recently, the presenter of the NFL on Sky Sports. We asked him who we think could take the Super Bowl, and this is what he had to say.
Nobody. Absolutely no one. And that's the great thing.
Yeah.
The National Football
It's wide open.
Just don't know. I mean, this season, you go like, okay, who's the top team? You talk to 10 different people, you probably get 8 different
Yeah.
on who's the best team in the National Football League. So, to go and say who's your favorite, I mean, New York Jets are looking pretty decent right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers getting Roethlisberger back will be looking decent right now. The Indianapolis coach, what are they going to do, with Dallas Clark going down?
Yeah.
How are they going to play the game? So there's still so many questions, with Pittsburgh. Are they going the style that got them to 3-1 without Roethlisberger? Are they going to all of a sudden desert that style and go back to just slinging the ball around?
Yeah.
New York Jets, their defense is okay. It's not as dominant as it was, last season, but it's Mark Sanchez going to be able to keep it up. So everybody has that question or question marks about what's going to be the thing that's going to hold them back or get them over the hump.
So you can see Kevin even agreeing there that it's going to be tight this year.
One season which has got underway recently is the British University American Football League. The league is split in a similar way to the NFL with 6 conferences all across the country. Then the top 2 teams from each head into a regional playoff and then the national playoffs.
There is also a Challenge Cup, which the third best team from each region gets into depending on their record, a bit like a wild card. Last year's dominant champions were the Birmingham Lions, who defeated the Loughborough Aces in the College Bowl final last year. Me and Dave both play for the Sunderland Spartans team, which is a part of the Borders Conference.
Yes, that unfortunately means every year we face tough challenges against the likes of the Newcastle Raiders, who have been to the College Bowl final many times, and the Glasgow Tigers.
We also take on our varsity rivals, the Teesside Cougars, once a year, in which it is always an eventful and heated match. The University League of American Football provides a great platform for people who might never have played the game and have purely been a fan, and lets them get involved at a somewhat beginner's level. However, after a few training sessions, the standard of coaching brings it to a pretty high and intense level of play. We asked Kevin Cadle if he'd ever caught any of the university action.
Yeah, you know what? I went to see Birmingham play We did a little thing where I was like out there in the free refereeing.
I saw that. Yeah,
I was truly impressed. I mean, it really surprised me.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I didn't know what to expect, but I wasn't really what the final product was. And so yes, it's I'm sure it's getting better all the time. You got the kids that that really love it, that are into it. I mean, I think the future is bright with it.
That's all we've got time for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast.
As always, you can keep up to date with all the NFL news on the Gridiron UK WordPress blog. That's gridironuk.wordpress.com. And if you have any questions, please email us on gridironuk@gmail.com. That's all lowercase. I've been Dave Richardson.
And I've been your anchor, Harry Waring. Enjoy your week.